so excuse the clumsiness, I guess. Hi, we're here at the World Economic Forum, and this is going to be our first interview. And right here with me is Mr. Michael Arrington, who probably doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to try and tell you who he is. He's the founder and editor of TechCrunch, one of the most widely read blogs in the world. And just so that you're impressed, he was selected by Time Magazine as one of the most influential people in the world.
Some research. Did you see when I posted about you on TechCrunch?
Oh, I'm so honored about that, and I still haven't had time to read about that, but maybe you can tell me about it. Yeah.
Well, you probably found out about the competition that you've won, not on TechCrunch, right? You probably found out about it just on YouTube or whatever. But I first wrote about the competition, I don't know, whatever it was, a month ago when YouTube launched it, because last year they did something similar. They didn't bring somebody in, but they had this same area, which I'm sure you'll show your viewers, here at Davos, where everyone can come and leave an answer to an important question or questions about the world. So I wanted to support it this year as well, and so wrote about it. And then I was so happy to see that it wasn't just some idiot that won. I mean, you're very young, really smart. I mean, your video was really good, and it was just really cool to see that somebody so smart won. So that's all I wrote a couple of days ago about that.
Well, thank you, really. And okay, so let's see. You're participating in one of the sessions over here.
Yeah,
and
actually a few sessions.
And more than one? Is that right?
5, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, but tonight's a dinner, and Paulo Coelho will be there, who just came by, and we were just talking to him, and we're talking about the future of media, and in a world where you can't charge for content like music and movies and books, how do you make money? What's the business model? So we have some great people at that. Peter Gabriel will be there, Paulo Coelho, and a bunch of other people. I'm really looking forward to that, and that's tonight at dinner.
Yeah, social networking seems to be a really strange thing, right? It's like it's a sort of spontaneous manifestation, but it also needs to be sort of organized in a way. I guess my question is, can you tell us how can we understand what is social networking? What is that? Can you tell us?
What is social networking?
And like, how can we understand what it is? What's its nature?
Well, I think if you think about, forget the internet, social networking in real life is just what we're doing right now. We're just talking to people and meeting people, forming friendships, ending friendships, falling in love, everything. It's social, it's being human. I think social networks are trying to mirror that as much as possible. And Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook has talked specifically about that, about how he wants Facebook to mirror the real world relationships that you have. And I think that we'll see more and more of that over time. The first social networks, Friendster and early MySpace, were largely dating sites. You went on there to meet people and date them. But now you see that with photo sharing, video sharing, the news feed on Facebook, where everything you do shows up and people who care about you see it. That's really interesting, and it's a way to keep up with your friends that, at least for my generation, I'm 38, we didn't have that until very recently. And it's a great way to keep those real-world relationships alive.
So it's actually true, this idea that's sort of hanging in the air, that YouTube and the internet is actually uniting us. Is that true?
I think so, yeah. I think we also have to worry about social conventions and people being dehumanized and caricaturized on the internet. You'll see some pretty nasty comments being left about people, things that no one would ever say in public. And for some reason, when we're online, people seem to be more comfortable, even non-anonymously, saying very nasty things about people. And I think we have to adjust to that as a culture. And I don't know how that will work out over the next 50 years. But at some point, we have to make sure that people can be human and be themselves and not be attacked. But other than that, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. Okay, so just to finish, just a really direct, maybe, tip to those bloggers out there. There's like a million of them. What would you advise?
Bloggers or video bloggers?
Well, bloggers.
My advice generally to people is if you're doing it to become famous, you're not going to be successful. You should talk about what you care about. If you love dogs, blog about dogs. If you love music, talk about music. And your passion will show, and you'll find friends and people that share your interests very, very quickly. I've loved startups and technology, and that's what I wrote about. And it's grown into a business for me, but it didn't start out that way. So I just say make sure you're always doing what you love, and that way, even if you're not, don't become world famous doing it. You'll have a lot of fun.
Well, thanks a lot. I don't actually have access to your session, so it was very kind of you to give me this interview.
Sure, and congratulations to win on this. This is awesome that you could come to this.
Well, thank you. Bye then.
All right.
Okay, that was Michael Arrington. See you later.